I have now watched every race so far this season twice, even though I have great problems with the formula. You know, it's a 50-50 formula, so half gas, half battery. But because they don't put a big enough battery in the car, the electric power can't make it all the way around for one lap. So they have to constantly slow down, put on the brakes, not drive as fast as they otherwise would to harvest energy and fill up the battery again for this artificial boost that they use to push themselves past other cars. It's like Mario Kart. Like, you eat a mushroom and all of a sudden you're faster, and doesn't, to me, feel like real racing.
Okay,
Anna, what do you say?
I'm going to draw back and set this lead a little bit bigger here. Let's draw out. We've got 3 new teams racing this season. We've got Cadillac, which is very exciting, and Audi, who is also new to the grid, and we've got Ford giving engines for Red Bull. So this is a very big deal to have these new teams involved. We do have some new rules and regulations, which arguably are making the racing more interesting, because now it's really a toss-up. It's not just going to be Red Bull dominating. It's not just going to be Ferrari, obviously, dominating. Mercedes is doing really well. But in past years, we had seen years and years and years of the same people winning races. And actually, this year, it's kind of interesting, because there are a lot of unexpected surprises happening.
And it's also, it's not
Matt?
Just about...
I mean, look.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, my point was going to be, I am much older than all of us here. So I started watching Formula One in the 90s. And back then, when you had Ayrton Senna, right, versus Prost, or Schumacher versus Hakkinen, it was about limit driving. The drivers are giving 10 tenths. And it was about, really, the pilot as much as or more than the machine. And now it's a competition about managing resources best. I mean, you have to have the best tire strategy, the best lap strategy, the best battery strategy. There's a virtual safety car. Like, there's so many different things that it takes away from that kind of man-to-man, wheel-to-wheel, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat competition that I love.
So we had this movie, the Formula One movie with Brad Pitt. There is interest in broadening the appeal. I know whenever I travel overseas, enthusiasm for Formula One is so huge. Yes, there are the old graybeards like Matt who've been following this since the 1990s. My word. But how much growth potential is there? How much has that movie kind of reset things for not global interest in this sport, but U.S. interest?
And the Netflix series. I mean, that's how I started getting into Formula One. I'd never heard of it before. And then I got into, like, the driver drama in the Netflix series.
I think when you look at the kind of deals being done around F1, that deal with Apple, IBM, the deal with LVMH, which is like a $1 billion deal, these are the indicators of the kind of growth we're seeing, the kind of platform Formula One offers.
And maybe overexposure of the brand, I think, is a concern. Look, Netflix is really what set it off here in the U.S. Drive to Survive is what made this sport, again, extremely popular in America. It's always been huge overseas. Like, if you go to a race at Silverstone, there's going to be 500,000 people that go there to watch it. You know, there's going to be 90, maybe 100 million people watching it on television. So it's always been huge overseas, especially in the UK. It's very big in Asia. But here in the U.S., Drive to Survive set it off. The Brad Pitt movie, I think, was pretty good. He's always been into racing.
Summer blockbuster, Academy Award nominated.
I would rather watch a race, frankly, than that movie. But the Apple partnership is what I'm watching most closely, because it makes it so accessible for almost anyone to watch. And they do incredible coverage. If you look at your Apple Maps and zoom in on the Hard Rock Cafe here in Stadium here in Miami, you can see they've actually put the track, including like the start-stop line and pit lane and all of the different places to watch the race on the map. So Apple is doing an incredible job of delivering this. You don't have to watch the whole race. You can watch it encapsulated in 30 minutes.
And we should say these are all interconnected, because the Apple partnership came out of the F1 movie. Apple actually created special cameras to help film some of the racing scenes for the movie, and this whole thing has emerged as sort of a growing universe that really is all tied in together. The other thing I think we should point out is a lot of the viewership and the fan growth is among young women, which is a really big deal.
I understand that you talked with Susie Wolf at the F1 Academy. I'm assuming she's related to or married to Toto Wolff, the Mercedes guy, about how they're trying to get more women behind the wheel of the sport.
Yeah, F1 Academy is a really interesting project that they've done to try to build a feeding structure, a system that can get women drivers into the channels to eventually become F1 drivers. This is, it's a whole process. There are different levels of formula racing. So F1 Academy is basically a feeder. It's like a school that really tries to bring some of these very young, teenage women drivers up to speed, no pun intended, to eventually get to the F1 level of driving. And there are actually F1 Academy races at the beginning and during some of these F1 weekends too, which is great. Susie Wolf is the perfect ambassador for that. She herself has driven 25 laps in a Formula One car. She was the first woman to do that in many decades. Yes, married to Toto, and she's a great ambassador for it and wonderful to talk to as well.
It should be said she married Toto after her racing career had already started, and she was herself a successful driver.
Hot Pursuit's the name of the podcast. Hannah Elliott, Matt Miller, thank you very much.